So I wanted to show you guys something kind of awesome today. Sorry about my voice, I'm getting over a cold. But this, my friends, is a 1955 Sunbeam gravity-fed toaster. Let me show you what I mean. This is this full spectrum of toast that you can get, light, medium, dark. See, the thing is, when I first got this, it was not working. That's why I had to open it up, also to clean it out. Because someone had gone to town on this little button, just twisting and twisting away, until it was on such a light setting that the gravity-fed spring wouldn't even go down, because lightly toasted bread that isn't lightly toasted is just bread. This here is the gravity-feed spring. It takes it, absorbs it. Pretty awesome. Back to this cord issue. Everything was working perfect. Everything was fine. Like I said, the cord was hooked up, spliced, and connected the same exact way it should be. Electrical components were fine, which is why it was such a trick getting this thing to work. It turned out it was just this. When I took this whole bottom comes off. When you unscrew it, this whole plastic casing comes off as well. And the button had popped off too. So I had to take a screwdriver to turn this to calibrate it. See, this comes right off. And when you're cleaning it, it comes off even easier. It just comes right off with the whole plastic housing. So that's on the correct setting now. But let me open it up and I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. Here we're obviously looking at the bottom panel of the toaster. It's been inverted so I can open it up and show you exactly what's going on the inside. But this is a model T-20B. I want to say they also made a C. So there was an A, B, and C model that they made. I'm not sure if that coincides with the years they were put out. But here's how I discovered what year this one was. You open this to clean it, and I would say since 1955 it's maybe been cleaned once. Because I had to open this, and this was literally crusted with bread from last century. Which is kind of exciting. Do not eat it. But I've cleaned it off for all intents and purposes. And once you look on the inside here, this little metal right up here, I'm not sure if it's going to adjust to the lighting, but not so much. It is stamped with January 11th, 1955. So that's pretty cool. To me, that was pretty interesting. And then once you close this back up, these 4 screws come out. And I'm going to do that for you, and I'll give you a little peekaroo as to what that looks like. So here's the unveiling of the innards of this thing, and I have a feeling that this is going to pop off again, so I'm just going to take it off. Before I do that, I've learned from my mistakes, as you can see. On account of me making toast in this, there might be a few crumbs, because I did want to test the full spectrum of its capabilities. Hey! And without breaking anything, I don't think it's possible at this point. I'm going to crack this open for you. As you can see, again, the terminals, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I was expecting to have to replace the cord once again. Now this cord has a few marks on it. You can tell where it had gotten too close to the toaster because the toaster on the outside does get pretty hot. It was before all the child safety bullshit started, so there's that. But this was totally encrusted. And if you look closer, you can see there's a better view here of the date stamped on there, so that's pretty awesome. So again, awesome job of splicing the wires and the connections and the terminals, and it was just a matter of I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. If you look down here, there's a little rod, and this thing, you could turn this non-stop if you pulled it out far enough. You could turn this knob non-stop, and it seems to me that's what either a child or a adult, quote-unquote, had done many times over, because that will actually adjust the feed sensor, and normally that would do your light to dark toast, but they had turned it so far, maybe it was on a light setting and they were trying to make it darker, but they turned the wrong way a million times over, so that had to be adjusted with my handy dandy screwdriver. So fixed, works amazing, and I would expect it to last another 50 years at least. They don't make them like this anymore. So there you have it. So I've got a cold right now, and I'm sorry, but I'm mostly disgusting. But I'm sorry a little bit too. You can stop the video now because the toaster, really operational aspect of it, is over. However, I wanted to share a little backstory with you about this toaster. It was my grandparents. I guess they acquired it in the 50s. Again, it's the Cadillac model of the Sunbeam toasters of the 50s. So I'm going to assume it was a maybe a wedding gift or something, maybe an anniversary. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the dates. But I recently had to return to town to attend a funeral, which is not fun at all. But in the melee of getting coffee and before the ceremonies and whatnot, my aunt approached me, and she hadn't been there all morning. She just showed up out of the blue, and I haven't seen her for a number of years. And there was no, hey, how are you? Sorry to see you, blah, blah. It was more like, Meg, I have your toaster. And I was like, what do you... I didn't even know I had a toaster. I guess I didn't. I have a toaster oven, but I didn't know I had a toaster. But no, she says, no, I have your toaster. It was Pop's. And I'm like, I never met the man. He died the year I was born, so I never really met him. I've seen pictures. He looked a lot like Bing Crosby, but I never met him. So, but how cool, because my kitchen is like a 50s theme. And I thought, well, yeah, no, absolutely, I'll take it. So we run out to the car. She gives me the toaster, and then poof, just like that, she was gone again. It was crazy. It was weird. I don't know, what an awkward day. But inside the bag of the toaster came in, she wrote me this little note, right? She had told me that it works, but it didn't. I had to fix it. Like I said, the dial was turned down too far. It wasn't broken. It was just below the point of being able to sense any weight on the gravity feed. So anyway, it says, and I'm going to read this to you out loud, because if you don't know me and you saw this letter and this was written to someone, you would think that there was something missing and maybe their cognitive skills were working just about as well as the toaster was before I adjusted the dial. First it says, happy birthday early, because my birthday's later this month. Then it says, Meg, works great, toast is perfect. Just put the bread in and it goes down, then comes back up when it's done, exclamation point. And in my mind, I read that, and I didn't have an experience with a gravity-fed toaster, because who the hell does? And I'm thinking, no shit. So wait. You put the bread in, and it goes down in a toaster. Wait a minute. Let me see if I'm following you. I'm glad you wrote it down, because the instructions are mind-boggling. And then it comes back up when it's done. That's insane. Then she writes, outside gets hot because of how it was made back then. Late 50s, early 60s, Pop put a new cord on that will last forever. So, in case you didn't know, gravity-fed toaster. Toast in, you don't have to push a lever. I feel like that should have been more specific. Because I didn't even know it was a gravity-fed toaster. I had to look it up. Once I saw the date on the inside, I googled 1955 Sunbeam toaster, and that's what alerted me to my predicament. And so there's no lever to push. It just goes down by itself, just like the letter says, and rises up by itself, just like the letter says. And toaster happens to make quality toast. This is important in my life. Hashtag life goals. So there's that backstory. You can really stop the video now, because there's nothing more entertaining to say. Really. Anytime you're ready. Well, I don't have any time for you people, so I'll hit the stop button.